This is WFMY TV. News 2 tonight, working for Piedmont people.
Good evening. 3 teenagers are in jail tonight, charged with shooting a Lexington police officer.
News 2 has learned the suspects were arrested early this evening, and each of them is being held on $1 million bond. Officer David Pardee was ambushed earlier this month while looking for a prowler. Pardee was seriously wounded and may be permanently paralyzed. Tonight, police arrested 19-year-old Adrian Duck Woodbury of Lexington. He's charged with assault with a deadly weapon, inflicting serious injury, conspiracy to commit robbery with a dangerous weapon, and secret assault. The same charges face 17-year-old David Burris of Lexington and 16-year-old Ashley Pooh Clark, also of Lexington. The suspects are scheduled to be in court Monday. Clark and Burris face other charges tonight that are not related to the policeman's shooting.
14 years have passed since Greensboro lost a police officer in the line of duty, but time hasn't erased them from the memories of those left behind. Chief Sylvester Daughtry laid a wreath to honor the 8 officers killed over the years protecting Greensboro citizens. Dozens of officers and sheriff's deputies from jurisdictions across Guilford County gather to pay their respects. The noon ceremony marked an emotional end to Police Memorial Week.
One of the convicted defendants in the Winston-Salem political corruption trial faces another legal battle tonight. Lobbyist Rodney Sumler will be back in court Monday to face more charges in the case. Sumler and former Alderman Pat Hairston were convicted of 20 charges, including racketeering, extortion, and fraud. But Alderman Larry Womble was found not guilty of being a part of the scheme which promised political favors in return for contributions to charities funneled through Sumler's business. Womble says he has faith in the judicial system and expects that his friends will appeal.
My heart goes out to them and anyone else who has to go through the justice system. But I do believe, as in the case with me, as in their cases, that justice will serve and that they will truly be given a fair and effective hearing, even through processes beyond today.
Sumler and associate Lee Fay Mack go on trial in Greensboro Monday in the second phase of the case. They're charged with trying to impede the investigation. Sumler, whom you see here, is also accused of income tax evasion.
Reaction to the verdict in the Twin City is mixed. Most people we talked with did support the verdict, but some think it is just another example of the government trying to degrade black leaders. Mayor Martha Wood says the majority of the community has been willing to wait for a jury to decide guilt or innocence before passing judgment.
I think everyone has, wanted to make sure that all the facts were in and trusted the system to be fair in rendering a just verdict.
Wood also says this verdict reaffirms the integrity of the city and its Board of Aldermen.
Lawyers for a Los Angeles policeman argued tonight that he cannot get a fair trial because of the riots that followed the verdict in the Rodney King case. An LA judge has ruled there is enough evidence to retry Officer Lawrence Powell on a charge that he used excessive force in the King beating. The jury in Simi Valley was deadlocked on that count. Powell is accused of hitting King repeatedly with a baton, more so than any of the other officers at the scene. If convicted, he could get 6 years in prison. A hearing will be held next Friday on whether the trial will be held in Los Angeles or another city. The DA wants to try the case in LA. The cost of health care for teachers and state employees and part of the triad may soon be up to a judge.
Well, the new state health care plan wants to cut costs for state workers, but some argue it may actually raise them in Forsyth County. Forsyth Memorial Hospital is already one of the least expensive hospitals in our state, but they are not part of the new teachers' state employees health plan. Because of that, those plan members will have to pay double out-of-pocket expenses if they use Forsyth Memorial. If the hospital does become a part of the new plan, costs will go up for all non-plan members, regardless of where you work. Today, the hospital got a temporary restraining order against the new medical plan from taking effect on Sunday. The state plan has rejected every offer of compromise made by the hospital.
Unless we were willing to give a discount of 5% and 8% on inpatient rooms and ancillary services, that they would not work with us. They wouldn't allow their patients to come here, or if they did come, they'd have to pay 40% of the hospital bill out of their own pockets rather than the 20% that would take place in other hospitals.
Wiles says if they gave the discounts to the plan members, they would have to make up the lost revenue by charging all of their other patients more. Reba Smith is a school teacher and already knows what effects the new state plan will have on her health care.
It would mean for me that I would have to change doctors in the middle of treatment and change hospitals. And, I feel like that I would incur additional charges doing that.
Forsyth Memorial Hospital already has one of the lowest daily costs per day for hospitals in the state. An average room per day at Forsyth Memorial costs $257. An average room per day at Baptist Hospital costs $320. Even with the state plan's 5% discount, a room at Baptist would still cost $47 more per day. A court hearing is scheduled for next Thursday. It will decide whether a preliminary injunction should be granted pending a full trial.
The man known as the suicide doctor is threatening tonight to starve himself to death if he's put in jail. That's the word from Jack Kevorkian's lawyer after the retired pathologist counseled a woman who took her own life in Oakland County, Michigan. Police say Susan Williams suffered from multiple sclerosis, was blind and confined to a wheelchair. She was found in her home wearing a mask attached to a canister filled with carbon monoxide. Police say Kevorkian counseled the woman but did not assist her. He's already charged with